Hi friends, Mr. Bryan here. My pronouns are he and him. And over here somewhere on your screens is,
Miss Madison, and my pronouns are she and her.
and we are going to be talking today, drumroll please, about dialogue part 2. Now last week we talked about dialogue part 1, and we did a little bit of mad-libbing with talking about the who, what, where, when, and why, filling out our own little worksheet with our rubric for our own stories. And this week, dialogue part 2, we're going to get more into the characters themselves and how we structure how they have the conversation within the story, because we have all the other details. Now let's put the characters and the format of how we write, how they talk. Yeah. All right. And drama is all about telling a story using the 3 tools of the actor. So do it with me now. Body.
Body.
Number 2, voice.
Voice.
Number 3, imagination.
Imagination.
Yeah, just like that. All right, and let's before we move on, let's be aware of what we're bringing to this space, what we're bringing within ourselves into the space. So, what I want to do now is think of one word that describes how you're feeling today. Think of one word, first thought, best thought. So whatever that word is, roll with it. Roll with it. All right, and now I want you to give me a tableau, a frozen picture of how you're feeling today, using your entire face, using your body. Use that entire screen in front of you. You have 5 seconds. Ready, set, go. In 5, 4, form that statue, form that tableau. 3, 2, express it on your face. Use that whole screen. And 1, and freeze. Looking around, looking around. Keep that frozen, and take a big deep breath in. Breathe that in, breathe that awareness in. And as you exhale, everyone exhaling, bring your hands to your side, aware of how you're feeling, and bring ourselves and that energy into the space. And let's warm up with Miss Madison.
All right, friends, we are pros at this by now. We got our yoga brains on. So I want you to come into yourself. Make sure we're sitting down, but make sure we're sitting up straight, right? So our chest is over our hips, and our head is over our chest, and our shoulders are dropped. All right. And our hands just kind of fall wherever they may. All right. So here we go. Deep breath in, deep breath out. We're going to do something a little different today because it's one of my favorites. Here we go. Deep breath in, deep breath out. You're going to inhale and bring your hands together and interlace them, or maybe we've done this. And you're going to exhale, push them away from you, but keep them together. Then you're going to inhale, bring them up to the sky. And you can look up to them and exhale, rain it down. We're going to do that 4 more times. So here we go. Inhale, interlace. Exhale, push it all away. Inhale, look up. And exhale, rain it down. 3 more times. You might begin to close your eyes if you feel comfortable. Inhale, cross. Exhale, push. Inhale, up. Exhale, rain it down. 2 more times. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Last time. Here we go. Awesome. We're going to take our right hand up to the sky. Reach it, reach it, reach it, and reach it all the way over to the left. Working out these kinks over here. Oil up your Tin Man body. Very nice. And come all the way back over. Reach your left arm up to the sky. And bring it all the way over to the right. And loosen up those creaks. Oil up. Nice. And come back to the center. One more time. Deep breath in. Reach all the way up to the sky. And rain it in. Or rain it down. Wonderful. And now we are ready to write some dialogue. All right, so the first thing we're going to look at are just some examples of dialogue. All right, and these are called mini scenes. And Mr. Bryan and I are going to do a couple of them, and then we're going to leave them on the screen and pause it for you so that maybe you can grab somebody, or you can do them with yourself too, to do a little mini script scene. Let's find the right one. Miss Madison, find it. Ding, ding. Here we go. All right, so we're going to do this first one. And these are just little examples of dialogue that you can add on to make, you can add your acting on to make them, you know, mean something. Yeah. So here we go, Mr. Bryan. Are you ready? And we're going to make it mean something, but we're not going to talk about it in advance.
Okay. I'm
okay,
ready.
I'm going to be A.
I'll be B.
You.
Yes.
What are you doing here?
I came to see you.
All right, so that's a really good example of some intriguing dialogue, right? It creates a little bit of mystery. Let's do another one, and then we'll leave the rest up for you to try on your own. You can be A this time, and I'll be B.
Fantastic. Who is that?
It's me. Open the door.
Did you get it?
Yes.
Well, let's see it.
I feel like we're excited little goblins. Wonderful, friends. All right, so those are just some examples of how you can experiment with your dialogue and how your actors then will be able to perform it. So look at these 3 scenes. Is it there? Yes, quick, hold on. I knew to do. Yes, oh, not easy now. Careful, don't. And see if this, yeah, and just try them out. Try them out. So we're gonna pause. And we're back. Oh my goodness, that was the best acting I've ever seen. That was the best acting I've ever seen. Cool. So friends, remember that dialogue is when we're talking to each other. So a character wouldn't walk into a space and say, I'm walking into the space, right? No, they would say, hi, Bryan, what's up? Yeah. So make sure that in your story, in your plays, there's dialogue and not just narration. Remember, narration is talking to the audience. Dialogue is talking to each other. And dialogue is much more exciting than narration, usually. Don't tell Dr. Seuss. Okay. Mr. Bryan's turn to teach now.
Well, that's it. We're done for the day. So I'm just kidding.
Mr.
Right.
Bryan.
So my friends, right now, what we're going to do is now that you've looked at the dialogue, now that we've played around with some mini script scenes, we're going to take a look and create our own dialogue. Now, this might be a refresher for some of you, but right now, the way we write dialogue in playwriting format, let me stress that very clearly right now. You may write dialogue in your own ways, you may see it done in other ways, but specifically we are focusing on playwriting dialogue format. And dialogue is written by the character's name. And if we look at the mini script scenes, the character was either A or B. So you can replace that easily with Miss Madison, or the name Mr. Bryan, or Bob, or SpongeBob. I don't know. Anyway, the character's name and then a colon. Now, if you're going to take a look at the script, at the mini script scenes, you'll see the character's name and then a colon. And the colon represents a separation of character and what they say, because after we have the character, the colon, and do that with me, colon, when I say colon, give me those 2 dots. Excellent. So let me see if you're paying attention. Character and then colon. Excellent. And then separating what the character is going to say. Because if we see that, and let's say, for example, I am playing SpongeBob and SpongeBob says, what's up? How would we know when the character ends and what they say? That colon is going to tell us. So SpongeBob and then colon, what's up? All right, that is the separation of character, colon, dialogue, what the character says. All right, so take a look at those mini script scenes and you'll see in every single one of them, we have the separation character, colon, dialogue. All right, and now what I want you to do, take a look at our rubric, our Mad Lib, our At Rise worksheet we did last week. All right, and what we're going to do is we're simply going to add to it. All right, dialogue as we go through this. So we have, let me see here, adding to this. There we go. And let me see. And Miss Madison, can I get your help sharing the worksheet if possible?
I would love to.
I'm sorry. All right, friends. So what we're going to do now is we're going to take a look at our playwriting handout from last week. And we have our title, we have our at rise, and we filled out the characters and where they were, those W's, the who, what, where, when, all in this sheet, right? So, and what we're going to do now is we've taken our beginning, how everything is set up, of course, the beginning, but the setup, the world as it is in the very beginning, all right? And then we have our middle, the problem, the conflict, what goes wrong, the surprise, and the end, the resolution, how things finish, and the moral, the lesson of the story that we all learn. Whether the characters learn it as well, that's another story. We'll see. And now what we're going to do is we're going to incorporate dialogue into it. So take the story that you have, whatever story it was, and if you want to write a new one, more power to you. I love it. But use your time wisely. All right. So we have our characters, we have the idea of archetype, we have our idea of power, we have now dialogue. So what I want us to remember is take the characters that you have and put them into the story. Put them into the story, what they're saying. So character colon, and what they're saying, because dialogue is written by writing the character's name, the colon, and the words that they say. And the other thing I want us to think about is stage directions. Stage directions, like the actions, the things that might happen. So stage directions happen in parentheses. So whatever it is, yeah. Every time I say parentheses, we'll do that. Parentheses. So for example, we're gonna say SpongeBob because why not? SpongeBob danced a happy jig. So that would be a stage direction in parentheses. All right, so I want you to focus on how the characters interact, also based on their status and power. So since we talked about that before, characters don't always talk the same to each other. You don't talk the same way to a parent that you might to a best friend, or the way that you might talk to a little sibling. All right, characters interact in different ways, not only based on their relationship, how they know each other, but what's going on in the situation, the stakes, the danger, the emotion in that moment. For example, if you're talking to your best friend and you're having a great time at recess, in fact, it's a double recess, you're excited because you get to have more time with your friend. Maybe they're not in the same class, but you get to see him. How do you interact in that moment? Now, how do you interact on a rainy day recess and you don't get to see your friend, but instead you get double time of that substitute teacher that is never in a good mood? Have you ever been there? I've been there. I feel you. I feel you. So it's going to be a different interaction, different dialogue, different dynamic of status and interaction. So when you're writing, when you have the story that you have, I want you to incorporate that in. And I want us to think about one more thing. What is important to your characters? All right, because a story isn't going to work. A story doesn't happen. It can happen, but you wrote these characters for a reason. You chose the story for a reason. You filled out this rubric for a reason. I'm going to get on my soapbox here. You wrote this for a reason. You care about these characters. And the reason you care about these characters is because they want something. They want to change something. I'm going to ask you this question. What are your characters trying to change in their own world? What is it that they want to happen differently? What do they want to achieve? What is the thing in your worksheet? You have a character. Now, what is their goal? I don't know. It's your character. So I want you to fill that out. All right. Now, I think that's enough. What do you think, Miss Madison? I want them to work. I'm talking.
That was really good, Mr. Bryan. That was awesome. Alrighty, friends. So make sure you take some time. Yeah, don't step down too quickly. Make sure you take some time to do that handout, add some dialogue to your story, and if you ever want to share anything with us, you can do so at all of the places mentioned in the description. You can email it to us, you can Facebook it to us, you can Insta it to us. Probably Facebook or email is easier, but Do however you want to get in touch with us. We would love to read some of your stories, and we'd love to hear some of the dialogue. If you send us some dialogue, maybe we'll even act it out in some of these recordings. Ooh, I don't know. Maybe we'll share some examples if you're.
Oh, that's what I forgot. That's what I totally forgot. I'm so sorry. No, you're fine. You're fine. You just remind me, Miss Madison. So you can put your drama scarf down. That's okay. Say these after you write them or as you're writing them. I would say both. Say it out loud. Say it out loud. Do it with a partner. Do it with family, friends. The thing about dialogue is it sounds differently in our head than it does out loud. And the whole purpose of playwriting is you do want to say it out loud eventually. So even if it's just you talking to your camera, reflection, mirror, or to your dog or little sibling, or I don't know, whoever, I want you to practice saying it out loud. It doesn't have to be for an audience. You don't necessarily have to share it with anybody else, but it's going to feel different. You'll notice that if you change a word, if you say it in a different style, just try it out. That's all I'm saying. It'll make a huge difference. All right, back off soapbox.
Awesome. We love Mr. Bryan on a soapbox. Alrighty, friends. I think that's plenty for today. Let us check out about how we're feeling. So everybody think about how you're feeling now at the end of playwriting. And you're going to show me that tableau on 1 when I count down from 5. Here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Take that feeling, breathe it in, and exhale, push it out. Whew. Awesome. One more deep breath in, and exhale out, and hands in the middle. And drama class on 3. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Drama class. Okay, that's enough. Goodbye, friends.
Bye, everyone. Have a great week.